Branding. I want to talk about branding and why some of your videos aren't getting the views and likes and all the stuff that you all think they should be getting. Now, some of that has to do with branding and the companies that are associated with those brands. You know, there are rights for people, but at the same time, my argument is, you know, we could do a whole video on this later, but my argument is if your brands and your companies are good enough for my child to wear to school and potentially, you know, get hurt or die wearing your brands, then why can't I wear certain brands in videos, right? As long as I'm being respectful or stuff like that.
Weber, 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 put your ears on.
Challenge phrase, sir. Roger that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know someone or yourself that is suffering from combat fatigue, please don't be afraid to ask for help. You are not alone. Yeah, so it's my interpretation that I believe he's trying to save the dudes in dresses, the weak women, the weak men, and dudes in dresses. Keep them here, and we'll send our finest and fittest to war, is my interpretation. No, I don't. I'm not going to tell you who my favorite DJ is. Who's your favorite DJ? Figures. Yes, sir. Oh, we're looking for predators, sir. Those that look to do our community harm. Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. So there's a lot of reasons why some of your videos might not be getting the coverage you want. And a lot of that has to do with algorithms, and then a lot of that has to do with your content or your branding. So if you're wearing certain brands and doing certain things, a lot of these, you know, companies do have rights, and they can block some of that stuff because they don't want their brands being represented that way, right? So again, this is educational purposes and why some of this stuff. Mental health check-in for everyone. Don't be afraid to ask for help. So if you take a brand, you take a brand and you take insignia off of it, and it no longer really becomes, it's modified, right? It's modified. You see, we're combating the rumor mill, right? Well, yes, sir, invisible enemies, they exist, but specialized. No. So it can be embarrassing wearing some of these props out in public, but if you're looking for more context, you lose a lot of the context. If you see someone, you can lose a lot of the context, and it can be embarrassing, but that's part of being a content creator in the end, is you're not always going to look ideal, or people aren't always going to get you, right? Challenge phrase, sir. Roger that. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I like to bring back into the fold the argument that, you know, these brands, they push them out and they want people to buy their brands. And in some instances, you can't control who buys your brands and then wears those brands to commit certain acts, whether they're crimes or even if it's just creating content that's controversial, right? Now, companies do have rights, and I always try and make it a note, like on my pages, that I do not fully I do not represent, I'm not endorsed by these companies. I'm not, anything that I do is not fully representative of myself or these companies. I create content for people, myself, and it's to document myself and my progress along my journey. And so the way I look at it is, you want to be respectful of the brands you wear, and you want to respect their wishes. And in a lot of cases, they'll let you know, and they can file petitions to have your videos or cease and desist, right? So with that being said, we are doing a lot of this to raise, or to educate people on how to conduct yourselves, and different marketing techniques, and how to protect your image, and then how to be respectful of the images of other companies and brands and logos, which is why you see a lot of the SF guys, they don't wear a lot of name brands. They will make their own brands, because some of the stuff that in the special operations community is very controversial, right? War fighting, all that stuff. Not a lot of brands want to be associated with some of that stuff. Mental health check-in for everyone. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Challenge phrase, sir.